go straight back to the phones where Ray is waiting patiently in Pittsburgh. Welcome, Ray. You're on the Mike Gallagher Show.
Hi, Joey. Welcome.
Thank you.
I was listening to your commentary a bit ago, and I think you referred to Kamala as cacklepuss.
Yes. Well, that's what a texter calls her. Yes.
Oh, okay. I think I have a really cute name that describes her stupid simplicity even better.
Okay.
And just simply call her Giggles.
Giggles. Well, yep. That she is. She is Giggles. That's a great description of her. I mean, have you ever known of someone who, and it's scary still to think that she was literally a heartbeat away from the presidency, to just be so silly?
Oh, my God. I was scared to death for the elections. I think we have CNN to thank for having Donald Trump as the president, because Biden felt comfortable to go onto their show, and so we got to commend them for doing that.
Yeah.
If that hadn't have happened, Giggles probably wouldn't have even been in the race.
Yep. Appreciate your phone call, Ray. And look, what I'm thankful for on this Thankful Thursday, if you're just joining us, I explained earlier, on Thursdays quite often on my local show, heard on 98.9 WORD in the upstate of South Carolina, western North Carolina, we use Thursdays to talk about what we're thankful for. And I've had many of you this morning text me and email me. Let me invite you to join that conversation, what you're thankful for. And I'm so thankful for Donald Trump. I'm thankful that the American people came to their senses. It's just really scary to think about Kamala Harris being in the Oval Office. It's scary to think about the fact she was vice president, knowing the condition that we now know that Joe Biden was in. Texter says it's hard to fault Joe Biden for using cue cards. After all, most people want to forget who Hillary Clinton is. Now, what the texter's talking about is this story that we're talking about today. It's stirring fresh questions about Joe Biden's ability to serve. So here's what Fox News is reporting, because according to them, they have obtained a set of palm cards, which are basically just cue cards. How many of you use cue cards in school and for different things? We all use notes, and I'm not knocking that. I mean, look, I've got notes in front of me right now. So there's not a problem with that. But Joe Biden's palm cards were used at public events, and they were detailed with a photo of the person, their name, a short bio, and in the description, why Joe Biden might know them. Now, again, that's not unusual. Let's say I had been invited to Joe Biden's White House. Well, there'd be nothing wrong with him having a cue card about that guy from South Carolina, Joey Hudson, whom he doesn't know. Although we met years ago at a Crime Stoppers dinner. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But everyone that Joe Biden came in contact with, according to the Fox News report, he had to have a cue card. Even for people like Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer. Reportedly, Fox News has a cue card for Hillary that has a picture of her, and explains that she's the former First Lady and the former Secretary of State. He had one for Denzel Washington, the famous actor. He had one for Senate, at the time, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Now, if Joe Biden did not remember who Chuck Schumer was, who Hillary Clinton was, he's in worse shape than we thought he was. He was in a lot worse shape than we thought he was. Now, their defense is, well, we just wanted to be sure. We didn't want to leave anything for chance. We wanted to support the president. Does that sound normal to you? That the president of the United States would have to have a cue card to remind him who the majority leader at the time of the U.S. Senate was? A leader in his party? And surely, now I get the texter made a good point. We all want to forget Hillary. But evidently, Joe Biden did forget Hillary. Joe Biden had to be reminded who Hillary Clinton was. Again, a former Biden staffer is defending the card, saying that this is standard operating procedure, that briefing materials always include who's attending, their background, and potential questions. Then that's the other thing. Evidently, if a member of the media was going to be there, they would have any potential questions that reporter might ask Joe Biden with answers. Now, remember, this comes on the heels of the investigation of Joe Biden's auto pen, because we're really not sure who was running things, particularly that last year of his presidency, and especially the last few months of his presidency when he was issuing all of the clemency orders and pardons that the auto pen was signing. When you combine that with these palm cards, it really paints a picture of a presidency where staff was carefully managing a man that evidently could not remember who he was interacting with. So if he could remember names of people within his own party, did he even know who the other world leaders were? Did he know who was calling the shots in Russia, in Korea, in China? Does this not scare you even more? Now again, thank goodness, on this Thankful Thursday, I'm thankful that Joe Biden is no longer in the White House and that Donald Trump is. I'm even more thankful that Kamala Harris is not in the White House and that Donald Trump is. I mean, you've seen Donald Trump. He thrives on unscripted incidences. He loves to walk out to a group of reporters and talk with them with no note cards. I mean, I get a little nervous when he's giving a speech, and it's pretty obvious to me when he is going off with the teleprompters. I'm thinking, oh my, what's he going to come up with next? But we went from Joe Biden having these palm cards with every little detail of what he might be confronted with to Donald Trump. And again, if you're watching on the Salem News Channel, we have some B-roll right now. The president standing there talking to a group of people, unsolicited, unprompted, just off the cuff, because that's what he loves to do. That's what he's good at. 800-655-6453, 800-655-MIKE. To the phones we go. Let's go to Hickory Grove, South Carolina. Charles. Welcome, Charles. You're on the Mike Gallagher Show.
Yes, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. I hope you are.
I'm doing well. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure thing. What's on your mind?
Well, you know, these illegals, they're letting them come here and they're lavishing them with all kinds of money and you know, and they're breaking our laws left and right, and nothing's being done to them. But I'm an electrician, so I'm licensed, and I am doing some work for this one gentleman. He's from South Africa, and he's done all the documentation to be an American citizen in this country, and he said it's a lot of money just to go through that process. But they're letting all these illegals come in here and let them break our laws and not do anything. And our congressmen and senators are constantly breaking our laws, and they're not being held accountable. But we have Americans going through the justice system every day, and they're everything from a parking ticket to murder, and they have to go before a judge, and they pay for their crimes. But no, these people, they just get away with it, and nothing's done. So I think it's, you know, our country's going to explode, and when it does, it's not going to be pretty.
Well, and I hope you're wrong on that last part. I hope we don't explode. I hope that President Trump is able to get everything under control in these 4 years that he's going to have in office, and I think he will. I mean, we're already seeing major strides with as opposed to what Joe Biden did. And you're right. The Biden-Harris administration coddled the illegals. They made it attractive for them to come into our country with plane tickets to any city they chose, other transportation, bus tickets. They gave them cell phones. They gave them Visa cards with a balance on there to spend for food. They gave them free hotel rooms. So with that in mind, who wouldn't want to come to America? Who wouldn't want to snatch up their family, uproot their family, and come to a better land? They're going to get free health care. They're going to get better jobs if they want to work at all. If they don't want to work, we'll give it to them. I mean, who would turn that down? You can't blame them. You got to blame our country, our leaders, for allowing our border to be open like that. 800-655-6453. Guess go to Stephanie in Minneapolis. Welcome, Stephanie. You're on the Matt Gallagher Show.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure thing, Stephanie. What's on your mind?
Well, this is Thankful Thursday, and I just wanted to let you tell you I'm calling from Minnesota, and you and your listeners know about that horrible shooting at Annunciation Catholic. Remember, a lot of Democrats, including the mayor of Minneapolis, were mocking people who were saying that they were going to pray for the victims and how terrible that was. Well, one little girl that was shot in the head is in the hospital, and the father locally was on TV, and he said they've been getting prayer requests from around the world, people praying for her. And they just had it in the paper, the local papers, and they're saying that she's recovering, and they're saying it's miraculous. She's going to be better. So I just thought that you should know that prayer is powerful, and we have a good God, and we should be thankful for that.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. That is a great Thankful Thursday story, and it's just proof that prayer works, folks. Prayer, God comes through for us in our time of need, and I'm so glad to hear that this little girl is healing because of God's healing touch. I'm Joey Hudson, in for Mike. Glad you're along.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.